You learn to function at a high level, but what has it cost you? A lot of times when we are in high performance energy, we don't realize what we're actually sacrificing in the midst of trying to be the top at whatever we do, trying to be the best, try to be the go-to at whatever we do, personally, professionally, and spiritually. But in my spirit, I'm feeling like this is resonating more for some of you personally, right? Being a high performer, being the one that functions at a high level where you take on anything and everything, not just of your own, but of others. And it has cost you quite a bit that you didn't even realize. I'm sorry, my dog is barking. And you didn't realize that it would cost you what it cost you. Okay? Chances are it costed you your sanity, cost you your mental calmness, your mental clarity. It cost you, your emotional stability. Let's be honest, especially when you are taking on other people's stuff. Man, listen, I'm speaking literally from experience, where as a high performer, I definitely was in that position of taking on more than was necessary, that part, but also taking on more than I really was built to take on. And in essence, it allowed my inner peace to be in conflict. It allows my inner peace to be non-existent. I sacrificed my own peace, my own sanity, my own inner understanding, simply because I was like, okay, I can handle what I got on my plate. I can handle parent stuff, right? I can handle being the caregiver for my parents, but also taking care of my kids. I can handle all of that. Then I can also latch on to everybody else's and try to assist them, try to help them, in addition to moving, maneuvering, doing whatever I needed to do, and not realizing it was costing me a lot. Okay, not realizing it was costing me more than I wanted to bargain for, where the trade-off wasn't even fair. The trade-off wasn't even equal, right? Yes, I assisted a lot of people. Yes, I was there for a lot of people. Yes, I, helped so many people. But we have to learn, and this is where boundaries come into play. This is where limiting access comes into play. It's not in a negative aspect. It is not even in a negative light, but it's in a cautious way of doing things for not just yourself, but for other people. Because when you are in that high function level, you actually handicap others to be able to operate at a high functional level themselves, because you're doing everything for them. Okay, you're taking on their role, you're taking on their responsibilities, you're taking on their burdens, you're taking on their shortcomings, for the reason that because you feel like you can handle it better. That's what high performers do. We feel like we can do it better. Again, personally, professionally, and spiritually. You feel as if you can do it better. You feel like you can handle it better. You feel like you can take care of it better. You feel like you can accomplish it better. And in doing so, you compromise and you sacrifice so much more within oneself that it kind of shortchanges you a little bit. And then you're wondering why burnout energy comes so natural to you. You're wondering why stagnancy in what you're trying to do can't shake. It's because you are taking on more than necessary. Your focus has been to adapt or take on or to handle or to do whatever at such a high level, right? Because none of us do nothing bare minimum. You understand? High performers, we never, bare minimum is foreign to us. Whatever we do, whatever we take on, whatever we adapt, we go full force. Our best ability, we do it to our best ability, but yet at what cost? Okay, that's something that I do encourage you guys to just kind of think about, to kind of process, to kind of really evaluate, do some self-reflection, because a lot of us are still functioning at a high level, and The Holy Spirit said. And a lot of y'all are functioning at a higher level, but y'all are depressed. So you're really functioning numb. And that's because you're refusing to be honest of what you sacrificed to be in this position, to be in this spot, to be at this place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, sometimes financially, sometimes socially, right? The high functioning aspect, as high performers, you handle chaotic and toxic relationships as it's second nature. That's another form of functioning at a high level. You handle the dysfunction and toxic as if this is normalcy. So you maneuver through it, you function through it, you adapt, you figure things out. You handle it at such a high level that you think this is part of your life. You feel like you have no other option. And here at Next Level Transformation Talks, like, we really show that change is possible. However you need to change, however you need to shift, however you need to adjust, it's possible for you. But you have to be in a sense of self-awareness to see where you're currently at, to know what you currently need to do, right? And so, yes, you are functioning at such a high level that you knocking off all of your tasks that you need to do in your business or at your job, right? You making sure the kids are taken care of, food on the table, right, at a certain time, clothes, laundry taken care of, chores, house chores clean, laundry, dishes, kitchen, all of that. You're making sure all that's taken care of. And then you're making sure your friend needed that shoulder to cry on. You're making sure that your parents needed help with their personal medical issues, right? You're making sure that you're showing up for a certain event. Like, you're just making sure that you're there and functioning at such a high level. Like, you're showing up full force. You're not showing up depleted. You're not showing up exhausted. Okay, you really putting on your best face, high functioning in that energy, in that place. You're just really putting your best foot forward until it's time by yourself at night, and you feel as if you ran through the ringer, as if you were elastic band, because you were stretched in so many different areas, some areas multiple at the same time. Okay, and that's because you have adapted the normalcy of functioning at such a high level, again, personally, professionally, or spiritually, that you didn't realize what you were sacrificing. And so here you are at night, sitting by yourself, sitting to yourself, thinking, I can barely move. I can't even appreciate the solidarity moment that I am blessed to have, like, because I'm just so exhausted. And then you're starting to think, and then the mind starts to go, and then the emotions start to rise. So then, listen, it's a domino effect when you are a high performer. This is why Next Level Wellness Club is available for high performers. This is why the community is for those who are functioning through burnout as normalcy, to understand that balance is possible, right? We have this tendency, we say, to fill your own cup, but then when we look at our plate, we don't even have time to take a drink. Let's talk about it. And so that's what Next Level Wellness Club offers you, a chance to, you ain't gotta scarf down your plate all in one setting. Do bit by bit. Sit in between. Make sure you're nurturing yourself in between what you got to handle on that plate. That's what Next Level Wellness Club is for. Okay, that's what we show, that's what we offer, that's what we provide, the safe, secure space for the high performers. Again, personally, professionally, or spiritually. I pray this talk provided you some understanding, provided you some clarity, provided you the space to be seen, because I see you. I always see y'all. I love y'all. For my supporters, my subscribers, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for always showing us love and support. I understand, right, the algorithm is changing on YouTube, but those who do still support, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And again, if you want to be part of Next Level Wellness Club, feel free to visit nextlevelwellness.club for more information. Until next time, be a blessing, you all, unto others, but know that you are blessed too.